Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today, I got a very special guest today, the one and only David Vincent, Terrorizer, Morbid Angel. I Am Morbid. He's also an outlaw country singer. Got a brand new band, a semi-brand new, Ultimas. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
Sophomore album comes out in a few weeks. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really, I'm actually really excited. We worked really hard on this record for a period of time, and we've never played any of the material live. So I'm looking forward to doing just that.
That's true because the debut was 2019. And did you guys do any shows in support of that, or did COVID just hit right after?
We did limited touring, and yes, COVID with us, like it did with much of the world, took the wind out of our sails. But thankfully, that's behind us,
Hmm.
never to be repeated again. And
Here's hoping.
yeah, well, hoping. I'm not going to hope. I'm gonna just say right now, no one will ever lock me down again. They can't put me in prison. I've committed no crime. So
Totally
there you
fair. No worries. My wife was excited to hear that you have a ranch in Texas with mules and horses and longhorns. And I want to ask off the bat, what is it like to live on the ranch?
go. Peaceful. It's great. Not well. All my neighbors have four legs, as you pointed out. Yeah, it's nice. When I'm working, I'm around lots of people. I probably shake 1,000 hands a day.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's how that goes. When I get home, I'm home, and I can isolate. I can regroup with my thoughts, and get back into creative mode.
Do you the animals that you have on the ranch, do you farm them to sell to like restaurants or butcheries, or are they just there to graze the land like just for your own pleasure and enjoyment?
Well, a little bit of both. We raise Angus, which are ultimately food, but we're not a butcher ranch. All we do is breed.
Hmm.
And we breed Longhorns. Uh, the donkeys keep the coyotes at bay, and the horses are pets.
Nice. Has being on a ranch like impacted specifically how you make country music or just how you write music in general?
No, actually, I recorded the country stuff prior to moving out here, but this has just been kind of a long-term goal, and we've been working towards that for a number of years. We finally, thankfully, been able to make that a reality.
Wonderful. Also moving on to Ultimus, how do you feel Ultimus has changed and evolved since the previous studio album, Something Wicked Marches In?
Uh, Quite naturally, actually. Um, we're a really organic band. So, the fact that we, have this situation, I built a studio out here on the ranch. So we just, the guys fly here and we spend a few weeks at a time per session. And there's no distractions, no interruptions, no, nothing to get in the way of just sort of introverting within the group and writing and working and making music and having bonding time, discussing music, discussing everything but music, and allowing that, the energy that we have and the camaraderie that we have between us to kind of drive the art. It couldn't be any more simple than that.
Was there ever any like pressure internally, like maybe very early on, that because all you guys have been in other bands like Cryptopsy, Mayhem, Morbid Angel, Terrorizer, that Ultimus has to sound like some kind of amalgamation of those bands or more like one band? Or was it more so just kind of trying to figure out your own sound?
Well, I mean, you know, as you listen to it, I mean, there are things that will come across as being familiar. Um, I feel like my voice is pretty distinctive. Certainly, Flo's drumming is distinctive, and Rooney's guitar player is extra special. So, there's going to be, I mean, they are familiar ingredients in the recipe. It's just that the recipe is different. So, but to answer your other question, I don't feel anything any pressure other than the pressure that I put on myself to push and to be as clever and as forthcoming and as organic as possible. And I think that's probably true with all of us.
In a Blabbermouth feature, you said that Ultimus would be a priority for 2024. What specifically does this entail?
Well, I mean, anytime you have a new record out, it's something that you want to get out. I mean, it's like it's a new child. I mean, the child
Hmm.
needs to go to school. The child needs to, integrate socially. So I look at that the same way as anything else. But albeit I do have some stuff with Morbid and Terrorizer, and Flo has Cryptopsy and Rooney has Au Noir and a few other things that he's doing as well. But the point is that this is something that, albeit the label on the first record kind of called this super group. I mean, that almost denotes like a side project, and I'm here to tell you it's not. This is a band, and we're all very proud of the work we've done, and this is something that we want to pursue and take it around the world and share it with folks.
I assume this would entail a world tour, North America, Europe as well, then?
Well, we're starting with Europe. We're working on North America. I'd love to say yes. We have a lot of things in the works. I'm the kind of guy who talks about the bird in the hand, not the birds in the bush.
Hmm.
So when there's something to announce, I'll be more than happy to be forthcoming and announce it with glee. Until then, yes, we're working on it, and hopefully it happens sooner rather than later.
And I was wondering, you also have I Am Morbid, and I was wondering if there were any plans to release any music with I Am Morbid in the future, or if that's going to stay strictly more of a touring kind of band where you're playing Morbid Angel music.
Well, there's been some discussion about it. I'm still on the fence. I'm on the fence about that. Because with that, there are expectations, and goodness, when you have the catalog that I do, and the formula that was part of that catalog, that may or may not be a difficult thing. I mean, there's some days where I feel very inspired to do so. There's other days where I'm like, this is like an old wine, and a young wine doesn't. Some of the beauty of it is the age of it.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's an ongoing discussion, but I don't have anything to announce right now.
I guess it's one of those things like Ishan from Emperor said something a while ago where he's like, I don't want to do a new Emperor album because I don't feel like whatever we make could live up to other people's expectations and like the nostalgia of listening to those Emperor records when they first came out. So I guess maybe like with some fans there
Well,
could also be that possibility.
well, you know, I mean, Ishan is a good friend of mine. I respect him quite a bit as an artist, and
Hmm.
I actually agree with him. I mean, there is something to that. Um, you know, there have been offers, substantial offers, but it's not everything is about money with me. I mean, sure, everybody has bills to pay. Everybody, we're all humans. We're all, you know,
Yeah, we all have to
we all
pay for
we,
groceries and
we all have needs, but my artistic needs outweigh any greed that may get in the way. I don't allow that to. I don't allow my needs to push me into doing anything. When it comes to art, it's as pure and organic as possible, and I don't want to let those considerations in.
hell yeah, love to hear that. In the Sorry, you've talked previously about the experience of reuniting with Pete Sandoval, saying it feels really good to reconnect with an old friend. Uh, I want to ask, do you see yourself reconnecting with Trey anytime just as a friend, or do you feel like, he's on his path with where Morbid Angel is now and you're on your path with Ultimus and such?
The latter.
Okay, totally fair. No worries. On that note, how is Pete doing? Do you guys still talk a lot? You work on music together?
Sure do. In fact, we have some Terrorizer tours coming up, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Now, Pete's a great guy.
Hell yeah. In the piece, you've talked about death metal vocals a lot, and I was wondering how you feel about the state of modern death metal as a whole, and if there are any favorite bands or singers that you have right now in like the death metal scene.
Hmm. You know, I hear new stuff based on people playing it for me. Not that I don't want to hear new stuff. It's just I don't really have time to, you know, to search this out because
Hmm.
I'm so busy with what I'm doing. Every now and then, a friend of mine will come to me and say, "Hey, have you heard this?" No, I haven't, and they'll give it a spin, and if I like it, I'll buy it. Other than that, that's kind of what I rely upon because, like I said, I just don't have the time to peruse through stuff. There are labels who send me sort of boxes of CDs uh, from time to time. Hey, check this out. Here's our latest blank, and maybe there'll be 20 to 40 CDs in there. And out of respect, I give them all a spin. If there's even one or two songs that I like out of all those CDs, I feel like it's a win. That's not always the case. I wish it were the case more often. But a lot of it is sort of, I want to hear, when I listen to music, regardless of what genre it is, I want to be convinced that the singer is pouring his soul out and that I believe that he or she believes everything that they're saying. And oftentimes I don't hear that, unfortunately. So that's the kind of listening that I do. When people play me things and I like it, I'm excited. I'm happy that I like it because again, I like hearing new things, but I don't necessarily have the time myself to, peruse around and do all this other stuff because, as I said, I'm real busy with what I'm doing. So.
Hmm. So it really just depends on like what people send you and like what really sticks with you then.
Sure. Well, I mean, my close friends, they hear stuff and it may be something even in a completely different genre, but they're like, hey, I heard this and thought it might appeal to you. And
Hmm.
sometimes I'm like, not really. And sometimes I'm like, wow, this is really good. It's interesting. It's something that I haven't heard any before. It's something that doesn't sound like it's just trying to copy something that was done much better, 20, 30 years ago. So that's what I look for. I want to hear unique. I want to hear organic. I want to hear uh, people playing their instruments and pouring out their souls. And if I hear that, chances are I'll like it.
Hell yeah. What has the experience been like going from like death metal to playing more like outlaw country rockabilly stuff as a solo artist and with the head cat? And do you feel that there are any like similarities that these genres have?
Well, Lemmy once said that it's all rock and roll. And when he first said that, I was like, not really, but yes, really. So I think that music is an expression. It doesn't, it's kind of, it transcends boundaries of genre to me.
Hmm.
If something is well written and it's honest, it's genuine. Like I said, chances are I'll like it. If it's just more, you know, a group of guys get together, and by no means would I ever try to discourage people from learning an instrument and seeking the dream. But it's a lot of work, and it starts really with being best friends with the person in the mirror, and what do you have to say as an individual? No different than paintings in a gallery. People are expressing things, and are you able to express? Does it come across? Does it speak to you? And when things speak to me, again, regardless of genre, then more often than not, I probably really like it. So I take that same sort of approach to anything in life: food, music, paintings, films, anything.
Hell yeah. Over the years, you've done everything. I mean, death metal, industrial, rockabilly, outlaw country. Is there any style of music you'd like to experiment with in the future that you haven't already done?
Well, I mean, it always grows. Uh, there's various hybrid things. I mean, people that have some of the provenance that I do are always looking to do sort of interesting things. I mean, first and foremost, I am a metal guy. That's what it is. But I do like other things. Some things are just fun. Some things are challenge sort of my basic instincts when it comes to music. Um, it just depends. I mean, I'm a musical person. This is what I do. I wake up in the morning and I eat, breathe, and shit music. And I don't know that I have a choice in the matter because it just comes to me naturally. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if something comes along, I don't really plan things. Things just happen, and I ride the wave.
I mean, that's a great way of looking at it. Like it's always exciting to see like artists try new things, but it's always even better when it just comes organically, you know? Like it does, it's not like, all right, we've done X for a certain amount of time, now we have to do this.
Well, I mean, some people, however something comes, I mean, there's divine inspiration that happens when it comes with music, with any art,
Hmm.
I believe. And, people, if you've been given a gift, don't hoard it, share it.
I've got one more question I'd like to ask you, and after that, I'll let you go. Once again, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Out of everything you've done as a musician, as an artist, everything, what are you most proud of?
Hmm. So I was asked this recently, and it's not any one thing, it's the portfolio. It's being able to look back and say, I did this. And, sure, any of these things that I've done in the past, if I were to do those same things today, they would probably be quite a bit different, but age and experience, um, honing skills, all
Hmm.
those things are what they are. So you go from infancy and you continue to push on and to push yourself and to help inspire those around you. And when you when you're working with, again, I've been very fortunate to have some amazing musicians that I've been able to work with over the years. And it's a life, and I'm a lifer. This is what I do. So I keep pushing, and the day that I stop pushing is the day that there's no reason for me to be here anymore.
All right, fantastic stuff. Well, once again, thank you for being here, David. It really has been a pleasure to speak with you. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I let you go? Anything you want to say to the Metal Meltdown audience?
Well, first of all, thank you for your time. I appreciate the kind words, and I look forward to hopefully seeing everyone on tour very, very soon.
Hell yeah. Y'all heard him. Check out Epic when it comes out. I think it's 2 weeks from now. What's today? The
Yep,
1st?
March 18th.
Wonderful. March 18th via Season of Mist Records. Check out Morbid Angel and Terrorizer and the country stuff if you haven't already as well, folks. It's killer stuff, I promise you. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.
You too, buddy. Take care.